Good evening. I'm back with another video. It's 6:45 p.m. It is June 9th. I believe it's Friday. I think it's Friday. Well, let's just call it Friday. I'm not going to look at the calendar right now. It's downstairs anyway. So it is Friday evening, and I'm here making a video. There was something on my mind today. I have been using my mind to focus on things that I really need right now. So like I mentioned in my previous video that I've been doing a lot of reading and studying, a lot, and which is good. And I spent a lot of my free time just looking through all this information. And while I was sitting on my bed reading this afternoon, something kind of flashed through my brain, and I dismissed it, and then it just kept pressing on it. So I felt compelled to make this video. And it's not, I just wanted to say this because sometimes information comes to me that I need to understand or need to know about. And I have to kind of question it sometimes, but still it's something that I feel like I need to act on because it could affect my life. So I was thinking about this particular person that had mentioned in my video back in January, this famous person who had been a part of my life that I was not aware of until January. And so something is going through my mind saying that this particular person could very well be a polygamist. I had no intentions of pursuing any sort of relationship with this particular person. My reasons are very, really, and I know that I believe he possibly had a relationship with the girl that I knew in high school, and then also possibly had one with my sister. And then my mind was going through all this, and it was kind of like there were overlapping time periods, which led me to believe that this person could be possibly a polygamist, right? Now, in the past, I think a lot of people know, I have a very, very big open mind, okay? Mainly because, I've studied different religions, and no, I am not a polygamist myself. I have never had any desire to have sister wives, or even necessarily thought, or ever thought of myself as somebody who would want to. But do I think that certain people... Here's the issue with polygamy, okay? Polygamy is illegal in the United States, okay? What makes it illegal is the fact that they'll marry one lady, a legal wife, and then they'll take on these other sister wives. Sometimes they'll try to marry a bunch of wives legally in different states or whatever, okay? And obviously you can only legally have one wife. Also, the issue is that many times people in these places in Utah or whatever where it's commonly practiced, they'll have to get on some sort of government assistance because they really aren't able to financially support all of those children. So my biggest issue with it is I could never imagine myself in a polygamous relationship, but I feel as though there are some people who are willing to be in them, and that's their choice, okay? But when it comes to people who have to live off the government, when they deliberately put themselves in that situation, it kind of makes me think, okay, if you're able to financially take care of your offspring, then I guess you can do that, But the problem with it is that that's the issue. A lot of them get on government assistance, knowing good and well that they can't take care of these children. But that's what makes it kind of not that's just where the moral issue comes in. Also, for me, I wouldn't be comfortable in a polygamous relationship for several reasons. The idea has never appealed to me. I don't believe that a woman would really feel happy in that situation. I've heard of women, they say that they love their sister wives, and a lot of these women say that they love their sister wives because they don't really have any other choice. It's a very male-dominant type thing. Now, this particular person that I admire, this particular singer, I think he is a great person. I do. I think he's great. He's written some really cool lyrics, and it was really a good backdrop of my life in like the 1990s and early 2000s. There was a lot going on in my life, and it was like, but I know that there's probably talk about that, and this is where a lot of this agitation, this gossip came in, and I ended up being on the receiving end of that I didn't really know. There's a lot of conversations that took place, I would say, when I was talking more to people before all of this blew up. And I think when some people they're of the mind of, if you're not like condemning it, then somehow you're condoning it. No, I don't believe that I should be that way. Like I said, I have an open mind. People do what they do, and just because they do it doesn't mean I'm going to hold grudges or I'm going to judge. I'm not a judgmental person. Okay, so when I call them openly intellectual conversations, I'm speaking in a neutral manner. Like, I literally understand that people are going to have different life paths with me. I fully understand that people are going to disagree, or I might personally not choose their particular habits, lifestyle, beliefs, whatever. But I'm not somebody who's going to hold a grudge on them. I'm not going to sit here, bash them, belittle them. Because I understand, when you really look at each individual person, everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own background. Everybody comes from different eclectic backgrounds, regardless of the race, okay? Like, you can have two white people living next door. Their dad might have been like a blue-collar worker, and their dad may have been like a white-collar worker, and whatever happened, they ended up living next door to each other, okay? So they have completely different views on different things, whether that be religious, sex, marital, how they raise their kids, how they educate their kids. All of it's going to be completely different. You know what I mean? And they can only see things from their perspective because their life is very unique. So I really don't, that's just an example of the variety of different people we have, okay? I don't want people thinking that I would be interested in something like that, okay? I think that whatever this person has done for me in my life, I want to say thank you. And I do appreciate it, okay? But I don't want to ever get embroiled into something like that for several reasons. And I think, I understand that I have a very strange situation because I have been, interrupted. My employment was intersected several times. People obstructed me, whether that be family members, previous family members, ex-family members, or whatever. And then I do believe that this particular person has been a great benefit to me, and thank you. Thank you. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. Because, I realize now I'm not that little girl that moved into this community and it was with more positive views on people. Okay, so I appreciate that. That could very well have been something divine working through another person. And I really would like to talk more about the anatomy of what a prayer is, because sometimes prayers do work through other people. You know what I mean? Or even things that people that you may least suspect of being a messenger or a provider of a blessing, it will work through that particular person. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay? But I don't want to ever put myself in a situation that is going to cause me any more mental distress than what I've dealt with. Like, I've dealt with so much mental tension, illness. I'm going to say, I will go so far to call it a mental illness when you have to deal with what I felt, what I went through. And some people I know, they're never going to understand, like, just what I went through and why it made me feel the way that it did and why it caused the problems that it did. You can't possibly. And I know it's easy for people to dismiss what another person says, especially when they don't know what it's like to go through it. But it shocked me, it overwhelmed me, it disturbed me, and the bullying was just like way too much, okay? Like I said, I would say for the most part, when I'm talking about this issue, I can speak in a way that is completely emotionally detached. What this message is for is to get this information through so that people can understand where I'm coming from, and I don't have to deal with any unpleasant surprises because I've dealt with a lot. And it's very easy to, dismiss what a person is feeling. But I will tell you, it was the kind of stuff that would go on to where it interrupted my sleep. It disturbed me. I never once felt safe. I always felt uncomfortable, mainly because of the intrusions and the bullies that were involved behind it, thinking that I was a part of it. I had no idea, you know. And I am not in any way bringing up anything to try to start a fight. It's just that, you know, I literally moved into this town and was looking for work and was going about my little business, and then I felt like this whole thing just like piles on top of me, and here we are, you know. And that's my feeling on it. Like, I literally, you know, I will say though, I have always been a great, huge fan, and I will always be a huge fan. And I still enjoy the music. I don't really listen to CDs anymore. The CDs I do have, I really don't have the adequate, you know, stereo system to listen to them. I haven't really bought a stereo in a long time. But when you know, this particular artist comes on, Pandora, you know, it's always nice to hear. And I would also like to talk more about music in another video. But for now, I'm just like, you know, talking out my feelings. I do need, you know, conversation right now because, you know, I realize I have not left the house since Saturday. Wow. And yeah, I was going to go for a walk because I had to mail out the rent payment, and my son has my car. And so I kept thinking, well, if I go walk up to the post office, there's going to be gossip. I want to squash all that shit right now. I want to squash it right now. Okay? There are times where I need to get out of the house because I'm bored. There are times that I need to go for practical reasons. If you know, I share things with my son. So if I'm not, you know, using a car for a week or something, I have no problem letting my son borrow it, right? So he's using my car. So if I have to get around somewhere, I don't mind walking. You know what I mean? I'm trying to live my life is in a way that's as old-fashioned as I possibly can. I cherish, I don't know, old-style living. Simplicity is what I cherish. And I know a lot of people don't, but there's a lot of people who, like myself, have this desire to, if they possibly could, they would live off the grid. If they could do whatever, these little things, and I can't go that extreme. So I try to take these little parts as much as I possibly can. What can I do? You know what I mean? I can't, you know, make my own tomato sauce, okay? But I can grow my own tomatoes. I can do certain things, you know what I mean? To a certain extent. And these are the little things that I do. And what happens is it fuels the fire. It fuels the fire of gossip, it fuels the fire of bullying, and it just gets out of control, you know? So that's what I wanted to say. I am not a polygamist. I am not putting down people who are polygamous. I think this particular person, you know, hey, I'm open-minded, okay? So, like, if you have great genes, you know, and you have some, like, a gift or something, and you want to get out and, like, spread that love around and, like, create little miniature versions of yourself, hey, you know, knock yourself out. Why not, you know? But, hey, you know, he's cool because he can do that, you know? But I'm talking about me. I couldn't live in an environment like that, you know? I'm moody anyway. And there would be, like, no, God, no. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, honestly, awesome dude, and I mean, like, I adore this person because he's so awesome. But anyway, but that's what I'm doing. So I do what I can to bring myself peace of mind, because I feel too often that I get misunderstood, and it's gotten to the point to where, you know, you don't even want to leave the house. You know what I mean? And really, I do need to get out of the house. I do. And, but you know what I mean? It's like, it has affected, before I even knew what all this was about, it has affected my ability to feel comfortable going this place or go that place, all because of this big shebang. And mainly it was because of people who were part of this entourage that took things way out of control. You know, and I didn't appreciate that. So, that's my stance on polygamy. And my stance on freedom of religion. And I did read an article about, I don't even know if this is really relevant for me to talk about that right now. And I'm just going to drop that. But anyway, I got my message across, so I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.